Hello, Wellspring. So just a reminder, if you're interested in picking up one of these sheets that contains both or on one page contains the entire year's list of readings, just talk to me or Pastor Dawn. We can get one printed off for you and make sure that you have one as we're continuing on through these readings. Today is our January 25th reading, and it is the last day that we're going to be in the book of Genesis. We're on Genesis chapter 50, and I'm going to be reading from the NIV. So here we go. Joseph threw himself on his father and wept over him and kissed him. Then Joseph directed the physicians in his service to embalm his father Israel. So the physicians embalmed him, taking a full 40 days, for that was the time required for embalming, and the Egyptians mourned for him for 70 days. When the days of mourning had passed, Joseph said to Pharaoh's court, "If I have found favor in your eyes, speak to Pharaoh for me. Tell him, my father made me swear an oath and said, I am about to die. Bury me in the tomb I dug for myself in the land of Canaan. Now let me go up and bury my father, and then I will return." Pharaoh said, "Go up and bury your father, as he made you swear to do." So Joseph went to bury his father. All Pharaoh's officials accompanied him, the dignitaries of his court, and all the dignitaries of Egypt, besides all the members of Joseph's household and his brothers and those belonging to his father's household. Only their children and their flocks and herds were left in Goshen. Chariots and horsemen also went up with him. It was a very large company. When they reached the threshing floor of Atad, near the Jordan, they lamented loudly and bitterly. And there Joseph observed a 7-day period of mourning for his father. When the Canaanites who lived there saw the mourning at the threshing floor of Atad, they said, "The Egyptians are holding a solemn ceremony of mourning." That is why the place near the Jordan is called Abel Mizraim. So Jacob's sons did as he commanded them. They carried him off to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, near Mamre, which Abraham had bought along with the field as a burial place from Ephraim the Hittite. After burying his father, Joseph returned to Egypt, together with his brothers, and all those who had gone with him to bury his father. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "What if Joseph holds a grudge against us and pays us back for all the wrongs we did him?" So they sent word to Joseph, saying, "Your father left these instructions before he died. This is what you are to say to Joseph. I ask you to forgive your brothers the sins and wrongs they committed in treating you so badly. Now please forgive the sins of the servants of God of your father, of the God of your father." When their message came to him, Joseph wept. His brothers then came and threw themselves down before him. "We are your slaves," they said. But Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So then, don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children." And he reassured them and spoke kindly to them. Joseph stayed in Egypt along with all his father's family. He lived 110 years and saw the third generation of Ephraim's children. Also the children of Machir, son of Manasseh, were placed at birth on Joseph's knee. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "I am about to die, but God will surely come to your aid and take you up out of this land to the land he has promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." And Joseph made the Israelites swear on oath and said, "God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up from this place." So Joseph died at the age of 110, and they embalmed him. He was placed in a coffin in Egypt. So here we have the conclusion of Joseph and Jacob's stories. Jacob, who God had renamed Israel, has died, and Joseph has him buried back in the land of Canaan, the promised land. And Joseph asks his brothers, or Joseph's brothers ask him to continue to forgive them, to walk in peace with them. And we see here that Joseph's heart is forgiveness. It is towards his brothers. It is towards his family. And it's towards God. It's towards the promises of God. While Joseph has been blessed in Egypt, he remembers and knows God promised our lineage and our family the land of Canaan. And to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and now to us, we have an oath to fulfill to God, to meet the expectation that we would allow God to be our God and that we would be his people. And so Joseph continues to push his brothers in that direction, to carry the torch, to carry the lineage of the Israelite people, and to push them to trust God, to honor God, and to walk with him in order that God would fulfill his promises and in order that God would give them the land that he's promised to them. So, once again, I know we've been talking about this, but it's amazing to see what God does through the suffering, through the heartache, through the hard things. And even the broken spaces, God takes and redeems. So this morning, or today, whenever you're watching this video, church, I encourage you to take some time and reflect on the promises of God in your life. Reflect on the promises of Scripture. And then ask yourself, honestly, and ask the Lord, is there any way in me that's impure that I need to correct? Is there any forgiveness that I need to give or offer? Is there any sin that needs confessed in order that I might continue to pursue you, Lord? That you would be my God so that I could be your people. God will honor that kind of prayer. He will meet you in that space. He will continue to redeem you and walk with you and help you to walk in holy perfection before him. God bless you, Wellspring. Have a great day.